don't stop just at the First Noble Truth. Most people stop at the First Noble Truth and go, oh, the Buddhists, they're just consumed with suffering. Why do I have to deal with this? And I've got enough problems of my own. And you go from the First Noble Truth to what's called the Second Noble Truth, which actually is really valuable. It's when the psychology part really kicks in. Anybody can see the First Noble Truth. Just look at your life. Watch Fox News for 10 minutes. Any idiot can see the First Noble Truth. A yogi has courage to look deeply into the First Noble Truth to understand its causes. That's the difference. If you stay with it, maybe you have something to learn. The Second Noble Truth is profound. As my work as a psychotherapist, this is the most precious teaching, is to sit an individual down and to have them understand that the nightmare of their life is self-created. That is extremely profound, because there's a little child in us that's kind of going, oh, mommy did it, Obama did it, it's somebody else's problem, it's somebody else's fault. And that is the most disenfranchising, disempowering thing that we could ever do to ourselves, is to think that our suffering is somebody else's creation. If you leave it into somebody else's hands, guess what? Yeah. You're sitting around waiting for them to act, them to change it. The other side of the extreme of the table is to imagine that there is no way to change it, that this is just what it is. We got what we got and there is no way to fix it. This ship is sinking and there is no way out. That's a view called nihilism, or randomness. That nothing is created or caused, no one created it, it's just a shitstorm on its own, it's just the way it is, and just eat shit and be merry. And that's a huge problem too. And the Buddha went right in between those two extremes in his clear seeing the nature of reality. And he said, no, you're creating it. The nightmare that you're experiencing, the traumatic nightmare of your discombobulation, distraction, anxiety, addiction, is self-created. It has causes. And he drew a circle in the sand, and he linked 12 links of dependent origination to show how one thing leads to the next, which 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 produces suffering. 12 links are too much to understand. Let's do 3. From an erroneous viewpoint of the nature of yourself and reality comes disturbing emotions or afflictive emotions. Those afflictive emotions drive reactive actions. Those reactive actions seed themselves in your consciousness and further color your perception. So that the next moment of consciousness, reality is hitting you and being filtered through your perception. But your perception, which you believe to be the real reality, is just your perception of reality. We forget that. Your perception of reality is colored and contaminated. Based on your perception, you further react and you have difficult, disturbing emotions, and then again you act irrationally, survival-based instinct reaction mode. In that activity, you further wire your neurobiology and your perception, and around and around and around and around again. And the image of a wagon wheel in the mud is really pertinent here. A heavy wagon wheel circling in the mud creates a groove. 1 time round, 2 times round. By the 3rd time round, something's happening to the groove. It's getting deeper. The deeper we act, think, and say according to our stress and trauma, the more wired it becomes, the more automatic it becomes. The more automatic, the less control we have. The less control we have, the more we freak out. And that's our current state of affairs. And that's why we think there's no way out. This is just the way it is. It's always been like this. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.